Now, for more on this, we are being joined by Dov Zakheim from Washington, D.C. He is the former Under-Secretary of Defense in George W. Bush's administration and currently a senior advisor at Center for Strategic and International Studies. Welcome to the broadcast, sir. All right, I want to ask you this. How should one read into it when President Joe Biden says he wants Israel significantly out of Gaza?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. That has been U.S. policy from the start. I think the difference is that whereas until now, President Biden and the leadership of the administration have essentially passed that message to Prime Minister Netanyahu behind closed doors, I think frustration with some of the outlandish statements by the finance minister, Mr. Smotrich, and the national security minister, Mr. Ben-Gvir, and those who support them about essentially pushing Gazans out of their territory, not saying exactly where they'll go, by the way. I think that got Mr. Biden to essentially go public with what has long been the American private view.
Right. So you are somehow laying out the end game that you say has been working on since the start. But do you think Israel is going to be on board with that?
Well, I suspect they're going to have to be. Look, there are clearly Israelis that are pushing for a major conflict with Hezbollah. There are Israelis, as I just said, who are pushing to continue the war in Gaza until all the Gazans are driven out. We're not going to put up with that. And Israel needs the United States. It needs American supplies. It needs American equipment. It needs American cooperation. And it cannot simply thumb its nose at the President of the United States, who, by the way, has been a strong supporter of Israel his entire political life. I simply cannot imagine that the Israelis would defy the United States over and over again, given that, by the way, as you mentioned, South Africa, which has long been a supporter of the Palestinians, has now brought the case to the International Criminal Court. The United States is opposed to that. Israel needs the United States in many, many different venues, including the Security Council.
So are you saying that will be enough?
Well, I think the United States, for instance, has its warships in the Eastern Mediterranean to provide deterrence against Hezbollah. It has warships to deter Iran. Israel needs all of that.
All right.
And so it's not a matter simply of Mr. Biden saying something publicly. It's a matter of all the support the United States gives, and with Tony Blinken back out in the region, essentially telling Netanyahu what I've just said,
all right,
that they cannot continue to destroy. Now, look, 23,000 that you quoted, that, of course, is a Hamas number. And the Israelis say that about 1/3 of those are Hamas terrorists. But nevertheless, we're talking about thousands dead, about buildings destroyed, about people dispossessed, and the United States is simply going to pressure Israel more and more publicly in order to back off.
All right, Mr. Zakheim, thank you so much for speaking with us and getting us all your insights.
Thank you.